That's a little softer. I'll stick with blush. That's a little softer on my wrinkles. So, now how do I close this thing? Whoopsie. So, well, we'll see if anybody comes in here. Now I can figure out a way. There we go. Figure out how to wait a way to get the filters off. So, I don't know if anyone's going to show up because I really didn't give a lot of notice. Someone's here. Not sure who. But, yeah, here I sit. I love you too, Nick. You're great. So, well, at least one person's in here. Yeah, I didn't give much of a notice. Yeah, I gave more of a notice for the premiere tonight of my little wanderings around the Forest Service cabin. And I didn't have anything planned for today. My nose itches. Forgive me. I didn't have anything planned for today, so I was like, let's just give a rundown of what my typical day's like. It's pretty boring. Let's see. I wake up in the morning. I know the thing is to wake up and journal. I have one thing and one thing on my mind. Get up, make the bed, start coffee, and start in on my ring fit. Because if I don't, and if I put it off for too long, I won't do it. But I've been doing it for close to a year now. And if I don't do it, I don't feel right. But how many 57-year-olds get up in the morning and their first thought is, let's go fight fantasy monsters with exercise? That's what I do. First thing in the morning. And then it's shower, get ready. My day usually doesn't start till about 12. Well, because Princess here likes to sleep in till about 9:30. So, yeah. And so I get that done, and then it's write out a list of chores for the day. And with my fibromyalgia and my osteoarthritis, it's just like, okay, one chore didn't get done today, I add it to the next day's chore. And that's the top of my list to get done. And I get some housework done. I get coffee set up for the next morning so that I don't even have to think about it. I just push. Get his lunch ready because it's pretty simple. It's nothing that's heated up. And hi, Seventh. Oh, no, you're not Seventh. It's Lemmy. The name changes throw me. They do. I'm like going, wait, who's who? Yeah. But yeah, I get up, exercise, get ready, get his lunch together. Like I said, start coffee for the next day. Do something like this for a while. Upload a video. Get ready for the redhead at 2:45, who wants to come in and immediately drop her bags and head straight for the fridge. You'd think she was a 14-year-old boy. Her first words are, I'm hungry. Okay. It's like, popsicle, cheese sandwich, quesadilla, something simple. Not too much, because, your mom's going to cook dinner later. But I do chores around the house. I vacuum. Like, today I got a Ziploc bag organizer. Oh, cool. That's cool, Lemmy. But I got a Ziploc bag organizer, and they all go into one container, and I got to. They didn't really tell you how to do this, so I'm squishing a whole bunch, trying to squish the box into the container. Yeah, they didn't work. So they all had to come out of the boxes and into the thing. Yeah, that's how exciting my day is. And it's like later on, I get to charge some of these LED motion lights. I got some for the staircase, and they're about yay long. And that way, because there's the light above the stairs is a pain in the butt to change because it's a 10-foot ceiling to the basement. So it's just easier for me to just get these little magnetic things that stick on, and they light up as you go downstairs or light up as you go upstairs. And I got some more to put on the little freezer, so if anybody has to go into the downstairs kitchen, they don't have to turn the whole lights on. I'm becoming a tightwad when it comes to my electricity bill. This house has 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 2 kitchens, basically 2 living rooms, and my highest winter heating bill here in Washington, Eastern Washington, that is, I think was like $350, because I'm the only one home all day. Why heat the whole house? So I have, I kind of live a little bit like either a gypsy or a hippie. I don't know what you want to call it, but I have, I made fleece, like curtains for like the bedroom doors. So if I close my craft room, I don't have to get up and let my cat in and out, but it still keeps the heat or the cold in. And then it's the same way for my kitchen. And then my laundry area, you just step down, because it used to be a garage. So, you know, when you transform your garage, you basically have a step. It's 2 steps lower than the rest of the house. So I have curtains on that, and I can keep my kitchen, 75, toasty warm. Walk out to the rest of the living room and it's about 65, and I'm like, I'm going back to my kitchen. But yeah, so I do the housework. I only go shopping typically twice a month because it gives me a headache. And not to mention it's about a 55-mile round trip for me to go grocery shopping. The nearest Walmart is 17 miles one way. So I avoid it as much as possible. And daycare kid gets here. The second daycare kid gets here at about 3:45 if he's not doing sports. And so that's why if I'm on the boat, I'm only halfway paying attention for the first 30 minutes while they're asking, where's this? Where's this? Where did I put my shoes? Where did I put my socks? I'm like, I didn't wear them. I didn't take them off. And then it's the lifeboat. It's dinner, whatever I decide, which is, when it's 2 people eating, it's not exciting. It's like, we're going to have the leftover spaghetti for the 3rd night in a row now. The first night I made it at the cabin so the kids could eat it, the daycare kids could eat it, because took them out of school for a day so they could go up and actually learn something besides pronouns. And the 8-year-old, that girl can split wood. I was amazed. And so the next day up at the cabin, it was like, typically we have soup or anything that can be made without power, because sometimes there's no power. So I made baked spaghetti. I put it in a pan, did some mozzarella cheese sticks, kind of shredded them up and lined them up, and then did the same thing with those Colby Jack sticks and lined them up, and then just baked them in the oven for about 30 minutes. And so it's spaghetti for the 3rd night now. Last night was hot dogs again. But my parents were the silent generation. We didn't waste food. So, yeah, it's kind of boring night after night, but let's see. And then of course, it's Marfugal news. I watch Marf. Um, uh, and then usually after that, I watch Marf where I clean up, do the dishes, sweep and mop the floor. That's a habit I've had for quite a while. Is uh, after dishes is I have to sweep. If I'm too tired, I'll avoid mopping, but I have to sweep because if I don't, I'll wake up in the morning and the cats will have batted cat food down across the floor, and it hurts. You think Legos hurt? Cat food does too. And then, yeah, and then go to bed and start this little circus all over again. I haven't worked since... It's nice. The one thing I really appreciate about watching Marf is you can go to his website and there's a bibliography of all the articles he's talking about, and you can go find them yourself. And so when someone says, well, do you have proof of this? You can go, hold on, let me look. Here you go. But yeah, I try to leave the house at least once a week. And in the summertime, I basically save my gas for the weekend so I can like go to Rainier, which is 79 miles from my driveway to its parking lot. And I have an Impala, so it's not exactly easy on gas, but it's not a gas guzzler. So, and then, the gas guzzlers, the old Expedition. That just kind of sits there for dump trips and going to the mountains. Oh, yeah, I have to make a note to myself to take off towing from, not towing, car rentals from 2 of the vehicles. Because, good Lord, our insurance for 3 is up to $180 now. And that's with Progressive. And the vehicles as casual drivers, they're making their money off me. I haven't been in a wreck since I was 18. But I was by myself and I was real stupid. I drive like my birth mom. Pedal to the metal, and that's how I lost her. Icy road, too fast in Montana, and yeah, it was quick though. It was really quick. That was a night my last night working as a meat wrapper. I grabbed a 24-pack of Bud Light, and I think I only drank 6 because I wanted to be able to go to sleep. I knew it wasn't going to be easy. But yeah, so if I ever have to go back into the... I wish mine was that. I could use the extra $30. But is that for one vehicle or a couple? We've got older vehicles. I abhor payments. I'm just... No, I don't like that Rothschild banking system. So I'll save up for what I want. And, oh my god. Must be a newer car then. Because just having the Toyota and the Impala was 180. Not 180. Was 80. And then add the Jeep, which is just right now. Oh. Okay, that explains it. You have to have full coverage. Yeah. My baby is a 2008 red Impala LTZ with the little decal. Do you know how you have the Impala decal on the side? Underneath that decal is another decal I got at Amazon, thanks to Kid Rock. Then it says, Let's Go Brandon Edition. I've passed people on the freeway, and then I've had them speed up, and it takes me a couple of seconds. Like, why are they sitting there? Why are they, not passing me? They're getting pictures of that. I was out by Moses Lake, and some guys in a van thought that was the most hilarious thing they saw that day. So, yeah, but needless to say, I have not taken that car to Seattle or Portland. No. I probably wouldn't have a car. But, yeah, this last weekend, there's a Forest Service cabin that you can rent that is actually newer than the house I live in, but it's the old cabin, the wooden slat walls and full coverage car. Yeah, yeah. I've got roadside car rental. I have to look at car replacement, but I don't think I'd get a whole lot because mine was when I bought it, it was about 10,000. Now it's being a '08 is probably worth maybe 4. Yeah, I wouldn't get much. Um, but yeah, this cabin that I went to, that I go to several times a year, it's got the old wooden slat walls, the wood stove, no water. You have to bring your own water if you want to, to drink. And then I go to the river to boil it, to use it to clean. And oh my God, these people who stay there. There's buckets in the back. I bring my own because I know they're clean and sterilized. I picked up 2 forks out of the river because they trotted their butt down to the river to add dish soap into the water and contaminate it. And then, kind of got washed down the way a little. Or the pans I pick up that are just greasy. The first day I have to go through and clean everything because there's no cleaning service. And I think some people think there is, and there's not. There's some dishes. There's some pots and pans. You bring your own linen. A lot of the dishes and stuff I've brought when I change out dishes, or when Mother died, some of her dishes. I've put up my photography. We have a 2003 Kia Rio hatchback, and it's a Pontiac. And this, I need to get rid of the Volkswagen that's in the garage. I've got a 2001 Golf. Had a hole in the oil pan. They thought, well, we'll just tow it home behind the Jeep. It locked up. Evidently, I guess you don't tow front-wheel drives. I didn't know. Grew up on rear-wheel drives. And so there it sits. 2-door Golf. '01 and the garage. It's a little bone of contention for me, because I think we should some little teenage boy would probably just love to take that and slap in either a new transmission or see if it's the transmission fuse, and great, get it out of my garage. The Jeep I want fixed in May. It's got a crack in the block. The 6th, I don't know what number it is, but if you just count, it's the 6th cylinder towards the back, because it's an inline. I can stick my finger in there and I can feel the crack with my fingernail. It's like, oh, this hurts. So, yeah. Hi, Captain Tom. I'm wearing a... That's awesome. Yeah. I look at that little decal when I'm filling up gas. Just need to get those stickers that said, I did that. But yeah, I want to get my Jeep back up and running because the Expedition is too wide for trail roads. So, yeah, but tonight, and I'm not exactly sure what time it is where you're at, Captain. I'm doing a premiere at 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time of what I did at the cabin. I don't know if you've ever seen Stellar Jays. They're really pretty and really squawky and very demanding. Because I bring corn, feed corn. And they recognize now my red car. And they start squawk. Oh, it's 6:05. Oh, you should be awake then, hopefully. I don't know. Could be taking a nap by then. Wish I could be taking a nap today. But It's Tuesday. Yes, that's right. It's Tuesday. Um, hubby stayed home yesterday, so it felt like Sunday just because he didn't feel good. So now I'm really off a day. So that's going to be fun all this week. Last week was a mess because I was off. Oh, they're blue. Isn't it gorgeous? I went to the west side for a wedding. So typically weddings are on Saturday. This one was on a Tuesday. So I was really off. I woke up. Oh, I've had those. I've had those. Yeah. Mm. I used to watch. Oh no, Lemmy. I used to watch in the X-ray when they delivered the needle into there. I have to have my shoulder done. Ouch. I what did they tell me? My hip bursa. Unlike normal people who have the nice rounded pelvic bone you see, in your anatomy class, Oh no, mine has a little peaks and points to it, and it's causes me pain. And I said, "Can't you just take that bursa sac out?" And the doctor goes, "No, not really." And I'm like, "Damn it!" So, yeah, make sure you get plenty of fluids, Lemmy. You're gonna need them. Gatorade if you can. If you can stomach it, I can't. Pedialyte, no. No can do there, Hal. Just, that stuff's gross. So yeah, 7 o'clock tonight, Pacific Standard Time is a premiere. I think I did a premiere once before, and I think it only lasted 5 minutes. This one lasts 16 or so. But yeah, you'll get to see, good. That's a good combination. What East Side Forest looks like. Washington State is not all rain and gray skies. Well, we had gray skies, but no rain. Yeah, where I live, it's 9 inches of water a year. I'm high desert. So I go out, and one of these days when it's a little bit blue sky instead of gray, go out to the hillside and do a live from out there. It's kind of pretty. The sagebrush are big, and oh, they smell so good. But oh, isn't so rough, but still, yeah. My both of my shoulders are separated because when the 8-year-old was little, she'd play on the floor a lot, and I'd sit there against my recliner, and I'd go to get up, and I didn't want to hurt her, so I would just put both my arms back on the back seat of the recliner and push myself up, and yeah. So that hurts now. And then when I had a cat bite infection that went to my shoulder, they wanted to go in and oh, cool. My birth mom used to live in Montana. She lived in Laurel. They wanted to go in and scrape the infection out of my shoulder, and I'm like, no, we're not opening me up. No. Because I know it'll never be the same. So, when I was in there, the doctor came in and was ready to give me a tetanus shot. And I'm like, why? I just had one about 4 years ago. She's like, oh, you can't ever have enough. I'm like, no, I'm fine. No, I had 4 years ago when a tick decided to attach itself to me. That was gross. My back was so pudgy, and it was so tiny it didn't do anything. It just kind of hung on there until I got to they had to make an appointment. They said, well, we can't get you in right now. How about 1 o'clock this afternoon? I said, that's fine. I've carried him overnight without knowing it. He can go to lunch with me, and then we'll come back. I just called him Dick the Tick. Yeah. So, first one I've ever had, and hopefully the only one I ever have. But, yeah. So yeah, back to the cabin. It's neat. It's got a loft. There's about 4 twin beds up there. Downstairs has one basement. I mean, one basement, one bedroom, and a really cool looking bed. Wow, 150 wild chickens. Eggs must be in your meal every day. I thought sharing 4 chickens with a friend of ours was bad. I can read. But yeah, the steps are about yay wide. It's not even wide enough for your foot. When they first opened it up to rentals, because it was for it used to be for the fire department, the forest fire guys. Uh, the stairs and the bedroom floor were painted the same color. Yeah, and when you're half asleep or you're carrying up your 100-pound golden retriever because he won't go upstairs or he won't go down the stairs, it was a little nerve-wracking that first year. And then they put in nice wood flooring and made it kind of pretty, and then people just drug wood across it. And because I was taught, always leave the place better than when you got there. Or if I borrowed something from someone, same principle. Return it in better shape than you received it. But yeah, so there's the bathroom door is locked up. You can't get into it. I've seen it on. I tried to pull the latch closer to so there was no draft by the bedroom, the headboard, and the latch came off. That is the most god awful orange bathroom I have ever seen. I mean, it was bright orange, and wow, I don't know who painted it, but the sinks and the toilet and everything were all covered with plastic wrap and everything. But wow. Yeah, I've put up my pictures, my photography that I've taken. It goes, I put them up at the wall, so it kind of feels at least for me, a little bit more homey. Shows people who come from different parts of the country what, like, shots of Rainier, a picture of the Twin Sisters Lakes, which is about a 10-mile drive up a road, and then a 1.5-mile hike up to two mountain lakes, and then chipmunks, and just to make people, feel a little more homey. Besides the, don't drag wood through the house. Check out is this time, and check in is this time. No candles allowed. That kind of typical stuff. And thank God that COVID crap is off the wall. But it's fun. Been going since 2005. It's nice because I can rent it when I want to. You rent it 6 months in advance, so and you don't have to worry about carrying insurance on it. If something happens to it, you don't have to, rush up and fix it. It's nice. And it's only about 36 miles away from me. No cell signal. I don't think anybody gets cell signal up that high in that area. It was 2 years ago. The Schneider Spring Fire. It was getting close to it. So they cordoned off that whole area. So I had a fall that we couldn't go in September or October. And that was kind of a bummer. But over 100,000 acres burned. Our firefighters, not one structure was lost. So I look at all these other fires when, all these houses are lost, and my brain's going, yeah, no. It's just not right. They're either not trying, it's done on purpose. I don't know. But yeah, nothing was lost. I mean, other than trees, a few animals. But, oh my. Oh no, ouch. That hurts. That hurts. We had a Jeep years ago. Uh-huh. Exactly, Cindy. Exactly. We had a Jeep a few years back. Um, it had been rear-ended, and it got it tweaked, looked fine. All we wanted to do is take it to the mountains, scratch it up, didn't care, put mud and tires on it. My son pulled somebody out of an orchard, and I don't know how he did it, but hi, CK. Um, he straightened out that frame. He had to yank that person really, really hard. But between the boys, that poor thing, it's still running. It's not ours, but it's still running. The youngest at about age 15 took it to a friend's house, which was 2 blocks up and about a block over. Ran into a tree. So there went the radiator, the air conditioning. So he had to go to a friend of ours who had a parts Jeep and take parts off of it, and he learned to do a little bit of body work. Yeah. And I love you too, Flamin'. And let me get this Bannon warm root thing off my, there we go. And then the oldest took it into an orchard. So it was dented all the way down the driver's side. But, oh my God, I am so ADD. I've so lost track of what I've said. Oh, old age is going to be fun for me. If I don't write it down, it's completely lost. I didn't write anything down for today, other than check what color nail polish this was. That's all I've done. So, yeah. So, yeah, I've just kind of been sitting there rambling. Get about 32 minutes in, and, yeah. But, yeah, tonight, come to the premiere, 7 p.m. Pacific time. And, yeah, you'll see a chipmunk, some stellars. No ravens showed up this time. Usually they do. Man, Mother's Day, good Lord. There was one, I love you too, Jackson. There was one, I thought for a minute there, it was a golden eagle. It was that big. It was huge. But I've got a picture of it with all the rest of the little blurry black birds that the kids are going to inherit later on. Because you can see I like ravens, crows. I like magpies sometimes when they're not screaming at my cat. But, well, I really didn't have anything in general other than saying what my day usually is and how boring and uneventful my day is. I spend them mostly alone from, 5 in the morning till about 2:45 in the afternoon. It's all that spray, no kidding. Captain Tom, I swear, after Mike died, I had 2 weeks, no writing, nothing. And, oh, good Lord, so are ravens. Oh my gosh, they're so very smart. I've been trying to get the ones out here to say hello because they can talk. You can train them to talk. There's a video on here on YouTube. Just type in Raven and Nevermore. Yeah, that'd be kind of creepy in the forest, though. All of a sudden, you hear something in the forest yelling Nevermore. I'd probably just skedaddle really quickly. But yeah, there was nothing planned for today. I'm just going to jump on, give a little bit of history, I guess, on the cabin because I forgot to do that. And then what my day is like. And yeah, I talk to my cats a lot. Yeah, they do. They get a very bad rap, but they are just as smart as dolphins. I want one, but hubby says no. Because I still have 3 cats. I can get a African raven, which is pretty much just like our common ravens, except they have some white on them. And you have to treat them like a dog. You have to be stern. You have to set guidelines. Yeah. And I'm afraid that they'd probably try to eat my cats. So, and I don't know how long they live. They're like parrots. They live. Yeah, I'd be dead before it was dead. So, but yeah, I've got hugging and I've got tattoos on my back, and each shoulder blade, the length of the shoulder blade has got hugging and munning on each side. So, but oh, I'm getting stiff sitting here. But yeah, just remember there's a premiere tonight at 7 p.m. I'll be there in the chat. I don't know. That is a good question. I don't know. I know rabbits, you can train them. They typically just go to the bathroom in that one spot. Because I had a house rabbit with a litter box. A big New Zealand buck. I have, let's see, 2 inside-outside cats who like to go inside. 1 tortie, a big fat tortie, like squirrel. A 17-pound tortie that spends most of her day inside, and I couldn't even lift her if she could fit herself into a basket. And I have a Tom, an orange Tom I call Morris. And since he started showing up and I started feeding him every day, hi, 7th, he's looking so much healthier, and he wants to come inside so bad. But my tortie just hisses and just will not have anything to do with him. So I can't let him in. I need to order a new heated cat house, because the one I had for Little Red, which I had for about 8 years, just on its way out. It's just stinks, and it's been sprayed, and it's just, no. It's still someplace safe to go for a cat, but yeah, has a nice little low heat pad that the cat, can lay on in the wintertime. So I got to get a fresh one. Need to find a deal on Chewy, because they're like 80 bucks. Well, when I bought that one years ago, they were 80 bucks for a 2-cat house. But, oh, I know Morris is so kind. I have gentamicin that I've convinced my doctor that I need to have on hand all the time now, because I have cats, because for cat scratches. Well, it's not for cat. Well, it is for cat scratches. It's for like when Morris comes up and he's been into a cat fight, and then I heal him all up. It takes about 2 days, and it's fine. So I used to have 3 dogs. 2 of them are now in the backyard, underneath little bird loops for bird feeders. So and my black cat is in there too. But yeah, I pretty much, any animal that comes across it, I try to keep it. We tried to rescue a little kitten that was underneath the car, and the little daycare boy just adored it. And so he took it home. The cat didn't make it. I know, I got the cat to eat, and I think if it had been basically somewhat, not, that's a rude thing to say, force-fed water, it probably would have survived. I think it was in shock, because I think it came inside the car engine. That's how it got in the neighborhood. But yeah, if we were up trying to get to Goat Peak, and I came across a squirrel, and I'm like, why aren't you running from me? So no, get out my camera, just constantly taking pictures. And then I looked at him, his little back legs were dragging, and I touched his back legs. What was that cat food? Purina? Maybe? But his little back legs were cold. So his back had been broken, whether out of a tree, bird, don't know. But we got as far as we could till we hit snow, and I had to turn around and come back. And the poor thing was laying. There you go. Yeah, one of those. Jesus, those old commercials. Wow, I'm getting old. He was curled up in the middle of the trail, and I just started bawling. I just started bawling, saying, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry." And hubby's like, "It's not your fault. What are you sorry for?" And it took me a good hour to actually be able to say, "I'm sorry," because I couldn't do anything. I couldn't take him home. I couldn't fix him. So made a little shelter, little cover for him so he could at least pass in peace, because, you know, so he didn't become food for something else before he died. So I have it marked on my Gaia GPS exactly where that was, and it'll never look the same. I'll probably never be able to find it again where we put it. But yeah, I'm an animal lover, even to the point of bull snakes, black widows. I would like a possum, 9 lives. Mm-hmm. I can see that commercial now. Yeah, I'd like a possum. Captain thinks I'm crazy. But they don't get rabies. They don't get rabies. And I'd probably like any animal I can get my hands on. But yeah, dogs, I don't know if I'll ever have another dog again. It hurts too much. My golden was 16 and a half when that day to the vet came. My English Springer was 15 and a half when she finally, she got hit when she was younger, so she only had 3 legs. Well, she had a tumor that really wasn't bothering her, but it finally grew to the point where it pinched off the nerve. So her back leg on the same side where she didn't have a front leg stopped working. So it was time. Rattles, no clue. I have no idea, Captain. Oh, that would work. Yes, that would work. Possums do hiss. I've told the kids when they were younger, said, anybody tries to tell you they've got rattlesnake eggs in here and that's what you're hearing, that they're hatching, I said, no, it doesn't work. Rattlesnakes are born alive. We've got them around here. When I worked at the grocery store, there was one in the parking lot, just a little tiny baby one. I'm like, oh, goody. Where'd that come from? Had one, I don't know where that picture went to, out hiking, and I went by. With a video, yeah, I usually don't go anywhere with a video. It's usually, I have a P900 that goes everywhere. I got 2 of them. One that stays in my car, and one that goes like with me whenever I go backpacking. But what was it? I walk by, not a problem. What do you call it? Hubby walked by, and it hissed. It didn't rattle. It hissed, and it was big. I was like, go down and around, please. Don't go anywhere near it. But someone asked, and we killed it. I'm like, why? No. We're in its house. It wasn't in my house. No. I don't. I make a effort not to kill things. Spiders go outside. brought his... Oh my goodness. Oh my. Ouch. But, so yeah, spiders go outside. Anything I can catch goes back on its own. So flies in the cabin. If the fly swatter's not all there, there's gaps and holes. It looks the old metal one from probably from the 1980s. And if they survived, I would release them outside. Cindy, I look at them as the same thing, yeah. With the prehensile tail and they're a marsupial. So I put one out. Its little wing was a little crooked, and I thought, well, I'll put you out in one of those little yellow and black bins you get from Costco. I thought, well, I'll go check on it later, see if it flew off or, whatnot. And I went to check on it later, and Mr. Wasp was having a delicious meal. There was bits of fly. And I'm like, oh no. I went back to get my phone so I could get a picture, and yeah, the wasp disappeared. But yeah, I was like, oh, well, I guess I fed, another creature while I was up here. So wasps got to eat too. And if you take the time, and not everybody will, each wasp has its own individual face, like humans. Its face is just, I always thought it'd be neat to take pictures of wasps' faces, but it was like, no, I don't even like to get near them. They hurt. They sting. Baby whales. Oh, yeah. And they cannot control their venom at that age. You don't know if that strike, typically 1 out of 3 strikes has venom, but, if they're not old enough, they don't know how to control it. I remember I don't know if this was a joke thing or what. Years back, some kids said they were what they call biting worms. They were fishing with them, and they were baby rattlesnakes. I'm like, yee, no thanks. I'd like to try rattlesnake. Dad says they taste kind of like chicken, but the closest thing I've eaten to a snake is an eel, and that was barbecued. But so yeah, tonight at 7. Yeah, I better get off this thing because I got to start getting a snack ready for the little redhead. That poor child. She's getting to that awkward stage. Her 2 front teeth are gone, and she wears glasses. And to fix her, she's got a lazy eye. But she's smart as a whip. Good Lord, she's in 3rd grade and she's bored. She does a week's worth of homework in 5 minutes. So I'm in Washington. I'm up. If you look up a town called Tieton. It's by Natchez, Washington. We are at the base of the Eastern Washington Cascades. Within 15 minutes, I can be at a cell phone signal, and I can just disappear into the woods. Or within 10 minutes, I can just go get lost in a bunch of sagebrush. My town's very, very quiet. I mean, it's exciting. It's like, oh boy, there's an ambulance. Everybody looks out to see which direction it's going. It's like, okay, well, if it turns before it gets to my street, we know we're going, Mike's not doing good. If it keeps going straight and you don't hear a turn, we know that Karen's not doing good. It's a small town of 1,500. So, okay, my daughter gets bored too. I homeschool and she's 6. Yeah, I wish I could homeschool them, but so far our district isn't that wacko as some districts are. So, yeah. Okay, guys, have a fabulous day. Hopefully some of you guys will show up tonight. I have to set an alarm so I remember, so I don't get preoccupied because I am ADD. I am diagnosed ADD. All right, guys. Love you lots. Have a fabulous afternoon. I'm out. Bye.